Hi students, I am T. Venkateshwarlu working as a school assistant in English at Municipal High School, Bapatla. Today I am here to deal with the very first lesson, that is attitude is altitude. This topic is a part of the very first unit in 10th class English, that is personality development. What is personality? Personality includes the great qualities of a person's character, and it also means a person with great skills, that is personality. If you want to become a person or a personality, it is in your hands. I want to become a personality in my life. Person is no other than an ordinary one, whereas personality is an extraordinary one. After going through the very first lesson under A reading, you can understand who a person or who a personality is. And look at the very first lesson, attitude is altitude. Attitude means the way of thinking. Altitude means height, that height above the sea level. It is our attitude that decides our altitude. I mean, if you want to reach certain heights in your real life, you should have the positive attitude. If you have the negative attitude, it's highly difficult to reach certain altitude. And before going to know about the very first lesson of attitude is altitude, let's have a glance at some other famous personalities. Look at the picture. Here is the picture of Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking is a great physicist and cosmologist. In fact, he suffered from motor neuron disease, which causes a hardening of body. Because of the motor neuron disease, he is unable to move his hands and he is unable to move his legs. He is able to move his head only. By just moving his fingers using the computer, he is able to reveal his ideas. That is something great about Stephen Hawking. He has a lot of intelligence. His brain works in a wonderful manner. Despite his handicap, he became a director and professor at Cambridge University. With the help of a computer, he is able to disclose all his ideas, and the ideas conveyed by him are adopted by the other scientists, and all his ideas are highly useful for the advancement of science and technology. His ideas are really helpful towards scientific research. He did research on black holes related to Big Bang theory, and he discovered Hawking radiation. And in fact, his contributions to science and technology are highly commendable. He is such a great man that received many awards. We have to salute such a great personality, that is Stephen Hawking. Now, let's have a glance at another famous personality, that is Helen Keller. Helen Keller is a famous American writer, political activist, lecturer, educator, journalist, etc. What happened to her at the age of 19 months? She contracted an unknown illness that made her become a triple handicap. She became blind, deaf, and dumb. It means she is unable to see, she is unable to hear, she is unable to speak. Despite her triple handicap, she became a world famous writer and speaker. Fortunately, Annie Sullivan, her tutor and lifelong companion, taught her how to read and write, and with the help of that one, she has reached certain great heights. And after reaching certain great heights, she championed the cause of the disabled persons. And hats off to such a triple handicap and a great personality that overcame her triple handicap by dint of hard work, commitment, determination, etc. And now look at the image of another famous personality, that is Sudha Chandran. Who is Sudha Chandran? Sudha Chandran is a famous dancer. What dancer is she? She is a Bharatanatyam dancer. She is an accomplished and established Bharatanatyam dancer and Indian film and TV actress too. Unfortunately, she lost her right leg in a road accident in Tamil Nadu. Her right leg had to be amputated up to the knee. Though she became a disabled one, she overcame her handicap by wearing a Jaipur foot. Before losing her leg, she did her best by performing well in many musical concerts. And even after losing her leg, she didn't get disappointed. She started wearing the Jaipur foot and she had her own practice of dancing, and thus she overcame the disability. She became famous as a Mayuri girl because she acted in the Telugu film Mayuri, which is purely based on her real life. She has become a symbol of willpower and remain an inspiration to many people. She is such a great woman that she received the National Film Award too. Yes, she has positive qualities. She has become successful. I have talked about the three personalities who have become successful in real life despite their disability. What are the qualities that have made them successful? If we look back, we understand that these are the personalities that are the symbols of devotion, dedication, determination, discipline, patience, perseverance, commitment, industry, intelligence. All great qualities can be beautifully attributed to these personalities. And this is in brief about these great personalities. And now let's come to the main topic of attitude is altitude. Look at the very first lesson. Attitude is altitude. Imagine having no arms to stretch in the morning, to help you scratch that itch, to allow you wrap your arms around your loved ones. Imagine, think for a while. What imagination? Think that you have no arms to stretch. Stretching means put out, and the opposite to put out means that hiding or compress or closing. Imagine that you have no arms to stretch in the morning or to help you scratch. Scratch means to rub with nails. If you have no arms, you can't stretch your hands, you can't scratch that itch. What is itch? Itch means a kind of skin irritation. If you have no arms, you can't stretch, you can't scratch the itch. And you can't allow you to wrap your arms around your loved ones. Wrap means cover. If we have no arms, can we hug our near and dear? Can we embrace our friends and relatives? It's very difficult for us to wrap our hands around or to wrap our arms around our loved ones. Imagine having no legs to kick pebbles down the street, to walk or run, to bicycle or skateboard or get you from point A to point B. If we have no legs, what happens? We can't kick pebbles. Pebbles are small stones. We can't kick pebbles. And we can't walk. We can't run. It's very difficult. Can we bicycle without arms and legs? We can't bicycle. And look at the pictures of almost running, bicycling or skateboarding. What is skateboard? Skateboard is nothing but riding a narrow board on a roller skate. That is called skateboard. Without legs, we can't skateboard or we can't get from A to B. From point A to from point B, from one place to the other place, it's very tough for us to move, walk, run or skateboard or doing anything. Then imagine both at once, which is what Nick Vujicic has faced his whole life. Here we are going to be introduced to another famous personality, that is Nick Vujicic. He has no arms, no legs. Of course, he has his own head. And a person without arms, legs and head can be called a torso. Torso means trunk or the part of the body without legs, arms or head. Of course, our hero in the lesson, that is Nick Vujicic, has his own head, but we can call him a torso. Have you heard something like this before? I hope that you haven't heard about a person without legs and arms. Nick Vujicic was born with no arms or legs, but he doesn't let the details stop him. There is a famous personality in the story. His name is Nick Vujicic. He has his own disability. Though he has his own disability, he doesn't let the details stop him. Here the details. What are the details referred to? He has his own disability. He has no arms. He has no legs. All these come under the details. These details didn't stop him. The point here is, despite his handicap, he is able to become successful in his real life. How? We have to know about the life of such great personalities. The brave 26-year-old who is mainly torso, plays football and golf, swims and surfs despite having no limbs. Limbs here means bodily parts. He has no arms and legs. but he is able to play different games. He is able to play football. See how he is able to play. Look at the image of he is playing football. The way he plays golf, the way that he serves, all this is possible though he has no arms and legs. What a great personality he is. If we are in his position, we might feel highly difficult. That is his speciality. So that he has become a personality. Nick has a small foot on his left hip, which helps him balance and enables him to kick. Though he has no arms and legs, he has a small foot on his left hip. What is hip? Here, hip means the upper part of thigh bone. On his left hip, he has a small foot. Only because of that small foot, he is able to balance himself, and that enables him to kick. Only with the help of that small foot, he is able to do many things. He uses his one foot to type. He has a small foot, and with the help of that small foot, he is able to type. Look at the image, the way he types using the small foot. Write with a pen and pick things up between his toes. He is able to write, he is able to pick things up only with the help of that small foot. I call it my chicken drumstick. Joked Nick, who was born in Melbourne, Australia, but now lives in Los Angeles. I would be lost without it. So he says that he will be lost without it. What is it? That it refers to the small foot on his left hip. He jokingly calls it is a chicken drumstick. That is, he is a chicken drumstick. What is a chicken drumstick? Lower leg of a chicken. That is called chicken drumstick. He jokingly calls it is a chicken drumstick because with the help of that only he is able to do many things. In fact, he was born in Melbourne, that is Australia, but lives in Los Angeles, that is the USA. Due to his faith as an evangelical Christian, Nick has chosen to remain a virgin until marriage, although he has had long-term girlfriends in the past. So here we can know something about his character. He has an evangelical faith. Due to his faith as an evangelical Christian. Evangelical is related to Christianity, and he is an evangelical Christian and he believes in the Bible, and the true Christians want to remain virgins until their marriage. Virgin here means having no previous sexual experience. He wants to be a virgin. He wants to be a pure and a chaste one until his marriage. In fact, he has many girlfriends in his life, but he never misuses his friendship with the girls. He is very modest, but he gets marriage proposals from women all the time, said Nick's friend and publicist Steve Apple from Los Angeles. So according to Nick's friend, that is Steve Apple, he is very modest in the sense not speaking much about one's abilities. Though he doesn't speak much about his abilities, there are many girls that come forward and make marriage proposals to him. He would love to get married and start a family, but he is waiting for the right girl to come along. He has decided to get married, but he has waited for the right girl to welcome her into his marital life. Water sports aren't Nick's only thing. He also plays golf with a club tucked under his chin. So water sports aren't Nick's only thing. He doesn't play. He not only plays water sports, but also plays. He plays not only water sports, but also plays golf with a club tucked under his chin. And he is a huge fan of English Premier League. He plays golf also, he plays football, and he is a huge fan of English Premier League. What is English Premier League? English Premier League means English football league system in which about 20 clubs play. And he plays golf by just tucking in the club. Tucking means putting. By tucking the club means a very big stick. His parents decided not to send him to a special school. A decision he said was very hard for him, but which may have been the best decision they could have made for him. Now, Nick is talking about his parents. His parents decided what decision was taken by his parents not to send him to a special school. What is a special school? A special school is nothing but the school for the children with special needs or disabled children. His parents did not send him to a special school, and the very decision seemed to be very hard for him initially. But later he realized that the decision taken by his parents was the best decision. When Nick was born, his father was so shocked that he left the hospital room to vomit. What happened, when Nick was born in the hospital, when his father saw him, he got shocked. Why? He was born as a torso. And on seeing the body of the torso, he left the hospital room to vomit. Vomit means almost throughout. He got a kind of vomiting sensation. We generally get a kind of vomiting sensation when we develop a kind of hatred against something. His distraught mother couldn't bring herself to hold him until he was 4 months old. His mother too became distraught. His mother became worried because Nick was a torso. His mother was unable to hold him until he was 4 months old. It is easy for us to hold a child with arms and legs, but as he had no arms and legs, his mother felt it difficult to hold him. His disability came without any medical explanation, a rare occurrence called phocomyia, and Nick and his parents spent many years asking why this cruel trick would happen to them. His disability came without any medical explanation. What is the disability of Nick? His birth as a torso. And why was he born as a torso? If you go deep into the medical terminology, it's a rare occurrence called phocomyia. And Nick and his parents spent many years asking why this cruel trick would happen to them. The parents of Nick felt very unhappy. Nick felt very unhappy. Why God made him a torso? This was the feeling of Nick also. And finally what happened, they thought that it was a cruel trick played by God. My mother was a nurse and she did everything right during pregnancy, but she still blamed herself, he said. Nick was of the opinion that his mother was a nurse, she took every care during pregnancy. She took the needed medicines nutritious food. She followed every precaution. In spite of the precautions taken by her, she was blessed with that also. Why is this so? Why this cruel trick on their part? It was so hard for them, but right from the start they did their best to make me independent. The parents of Nick felt very sorry initially. Later, they did their best and made Nick an independent personality. What is opposite to independent? Opposite to independent is dependent. My dad put me in the water at 18 months and gave the courage to learn how to swim. The father of Nick did something best for him. When Nick was 18 months, he put him in the water tub and taught him how to swim. I also got really into football and skateboarding. He learned the art of football and the art of skateboarding. I totally love the English Premier League. So I have already said that English Premier League is the name of the English Football League system in England. And despite the disability, Nick is able to become a successful personality. In the latter part of the life, he became a great personality development trainer. He has become a motivational speaker, and that is something great about Nick Vujicic. And that's the end of the session today, and in part 2 I'll continue the lesson, and let's meet in the next video. And until then, take care, bye bye, happy watching.